There's a big Harmonium event happening this month, a major release, and let's tell you about it with the players behind the project. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Canada. It's amazing how it's gotten a new life, though. I was just talking to the guys in Klaatu. We're doing a special on them on YouTube. And I was talking to John, and it reminded me of you, Serge. He was saying, I said, why haven't you released solo albums? I know you have, obviously, and you're still in music. But for him, he said to me, I said, I'm going to give you the answer to that. He said, what? I'm going to say that you put so much into yourself, into those Klaatu albums, that after that band was finished, you were done. You were just one of those guys. But I also looked at, even though you'd released quite a few solo albums, I kind of looked at you in that way of going, he's put so much of himself into Harmonium albums.
You're so dead on. And that's why Harmonium exploded. After the 3 albums, that was it. I had nothing else to say, to do. I couldn't move. Actually, I burned out for years, and I couldn't even understand playing again or singing again or writing. I was fried. The evolution of those 3 albums also was too much. So I did 3 years of tours after Leptade, but that was it. I couldn't stand it anymore.
What an incredible, ambitious project this is. This is, to me, I couldn't fathom, to both of you here, doing a project that is this big with that much music. How did this come to fruition?
The original idea is from producer Nicolas Lemieux. He came to me saying, I would love to do the entire music of Harmonium, the 3 albums they did, but in a symphonic version. What do you think about that? I thought it was another crazy idea, It's 3 hours of music in total. I needed to think a little bit about it because I knew that if we were to do it, it had to be well made, well done, because it's such a serious thing, Harmonium, for Quebecers and even Canadians. It's an iconic figure of the pop culture here. So I really wanted it to be good. So we needed time, we needed a very good orchestra. Many things were involved so that we could make it happen the right way.
Serge?
So they did a La Disque homage à Harmonium, and Simon did the orchestra and the arrangements. I keep telling the story, but it's very true. It's like after 30 seconds, I was totally convinced and mesmerized that if something like that would happen, you would have to do it. It's sure. And the thing was that there were singers that night doing what I was singing with the orchestra accompanying. That's one thing. That's not symphonic for me. It's like finding the way to play those songs with replacing lead vocals with main instruments is amazing. When I heard about the project and they presented it to me, I went running. I went very far and just secluded myself because I went, come on, it's almost impossible, So Simon went for it for 4 or 5 months. And when I heard it, started sending demos, I was floored. I was just, there it is. It's not only possible, it's better than that,
Well, I'll ask you both this question. It's a question that's come up with a lot of proggers I talk to, like Steve Hackett at Genesis and John Anderson at Yes recently. And they talk about, and Serge, I think you're like that, and obviously, Simone, I think you're like that too. I'm answering your question for you. Closing files. When you have such an intense work ethic, or it's almost like being our daughter's Asperger's. She's autistic and she's really hyper-focused. She's taught us a lot about the human condition. So for both of you, opening this file for this big, ambitious project, but Serge, you said you came running. But Simon, how were you when you looked at the body of work that you had to do? How was it going into this project from a human condition of going, okay, are we up for this? Because there's a lot to do.
There's a lot to do. Honestly,
Simon, let me interrupt you. You locked yourself up for 6 months, didn't you?
Not 6, 4 months and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
But the first month I was only listening to Harmonium's music. The first month of writing, I didn't write anything. I just needed to get really into their music. Of course, it takes a huge amount of energy, you know, because and Serge is the same way. When we get into a creative process, we give everything we have. So it's intense. It's extremely intense.
Yeah.
And I know for myself, at the end of big projects like this one, I have what we could call a postpartum. You know, it's like mothers when they give birth and all that. There's something dark afterwards. You know, there's a day to make with the project. It's intense.
You're so right. I mean, it's terrible every time.
It is.
Just break down, you know. It's like
yeah,
and everybody around doesn't understand anything. Where are you? Where the fuck are you? You know, like I'm gone, man. It's like I
even though we're extremely happy with the project, you know, and with the result. And
it's even worse when we're happy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a huge void suddenly, and you say, could I have done better? Was there a way to make it better in that field or that field, for the recording, for the arrangements, for the conducting? Is it really the right way? You know, you have all those questions afterwards.
Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Canada.